Hello there, everybody. Welcome back, and we're here to be talking about Invincible Season 2. Now, this season takes place after the wildly popular, incredibly successful first season, where everyone is still reeling from the events on that season, on what Omni-Man, turned out to be, and the person taking it hardest the most is obviously his son, Mark, who is still reeling from that, and they see that there's more threats on the horizon. Besides, the Viltrumites, who is, Omni-Man's, race of people and, people that are like Mark, there's also another threat called Anstorm Levy who has a vendetta against Mark and wants to enact his revenge, on top of other side plots that are sort of carried over from the first season. And yeah, so basically I'm going to dive into spoilers here because I think that this full season's been out for a good amount, especially the first 4 episodes, because my thought process was, I saw after the first 4 episodes late last year, they did a hiatus where they released the last half of the season within the past month or so. So I figure just wait for it all to be out and then I can binge it over a couple days. So that's why this video is a little bit late. And yeah, so I'm just gonna dive right into it. So what I really love about this season is, like what many great sequels do for whether it be a movie or show, is it focuses mainly on its characters, because there's lots of drama and turmoil that the characters are going through. And of course, one of them being Mark, who after almost being killed by his dad and learning the truth about what his dad is and what all this means, he's basically trying to prove that he's not like his dad, that he is a good person, that he is a hero. And of course with that he's juggling normal college stuff, normal young adult stuff, because he just graduated high school. He's trying to fit in and go to college. He's trying to juggle his relationship with his girlfriend, and there's just a lot going on there on terms of the big grand scale stuff. And so there's a lot of that going on, and he learns more about his father when he meets him again on this alien planet, and they have to team up in a big fight to fight 3 Viltrumites. And the results of that, they kind of have a moment, him and his dad, and there's just a lot there that I thought was really good. And while there's this setup stuff, which you could tell his dad isn't killed, but he's taken away to be executed, so there's setup there for his dad to return. You see Alan the alien come back, and after getting brutally assaulted by those 3 Viltrumites earlier in the season, he comes back and he's stronger than ever, and he could probably go toe-to-toe against Viltrumites. But you learn more about where Alan is and kind of his origins and stuff, and you learn a bit more about the Viltrumites. You see more of their people, and besides all the crazy space stuff and alien stuff, you have more of the development with the characters on Earth, like with the mom, with Debbie, where she has so much trauma and heartbreak because of how Nolan disrespected her and really said what he thought about her, and just realizing the past 20 years or whatever were for nothing because of it was all fake. She was lied to, and she's dealing with the consequences because of Nolan, Omni-Man, murdering all these innocent people and the original Guardians of the Globe. And so she's dealing with a lot of depression and sadness there, and I really appreciated seeing these human moments in the show, like moments where she's breaking down crying, moment some vulnerability, which I really do appreciate, and I really like to see in these kind of what you would consider grand scope superhero type of properties, because these are real emotions and real beats that people can go through. Maybe not the same circumstances, but I really like seeing this type of stuff, fleshing out your characters. They're real, and I really respect that. Even, for example, Donald, yeah, he's back, and you learn more about him. I thought he was considered a minor character in the first season. Here, I thought his arc was one of the more interesting. How he realizes he starts to put the pieces together on he was dead. He died at the end of season 1, and he finds out he's kind of like part cyborg or robot or something, and he's just, learning about there was many other times where he kept being, killed and put back together, and his mind kept getting wiped. And so he's coming to terms with that, which also ties in to William, who is one of Mark's friends, his, boyfriend, what happened to him in the first season, how he's in a similar state, because of being experimented on by Sinclair. And so there's a great moment between him and, Donald, who they both kind of relate, and both, Donald, like, his arc kind of came to a good conclusion about what happened with him and, how to go forward and stuff. So I thought that was great. There's lots of personal character beats that I really appreciated. Besides, of course, the animation throughout was really good. There were some hilarious moments, like this one that I have to mention. It was kind of like a fun little jab and, little nod at, animators, I'd say, and people who work, obviously, in that type of field, how they were given little tips and little, nudges on when they do type of tricks, like when, your mouth's covered like that. There, it's basically easier to animate, stuff, or if there's like a wide shot. And I just thought it was really cool because Mark was at like a Comic-Con type convention meeting one of his, authors that he really likes, or comic book writers, and the dude was talking about, certain little techniques, and I was like, I see what they're doing. I thought that was hysterical. The writing's really solid. The voice work from all the cast I thought was great, especially Stephen Yeun, who plays, Invincible himself. And, Sandra Oh, as the mom, Debbie. J.K. Simmons is terrific as always as Omni-Man. And there's this, like, Sterling K. Brown I saw was Anstorm Levy. And this guy, you feel, like, really bad for him because you see him, like, in the beginning of the season and little glimpses throughout. But he is overall the main bad of the season. And seeing, what he's gone through and seeing all the different versions, because his main goal was that, Mark and, Omni-Man, like, they're bad in pretty much every universe except this one. They end up teaming up. And so this dude has his mind warped to know all the realities of all of his versions of himself, to see how evil and all Mark is, which makes him go crazy, which it explains a lot and really adds a lot of great development for this villain. And so Mark throughout the season is trying to prove he's not like his dad. He won't kill and all that. And then it all comes to a head where this dude is almost like terrorizing his family and almost, kills his mom. And then Mark goes out of control, and basically it mirrors what Omni-Man did to Mark in season 1, when Mark just pummels this dude, and it looks like he killed him. Which that had to be one of the craziest scenes I've seen in quite a while for like a show or anything. But he might not be dead because we don't see the face, which I don't know if that's supposed to say how graphic it was, because this show is not afraid to show gory graphic stuff. So the fact we didn't see the face because he kept pummeling him in the face, that tells me, oh shit. But again, to summarize, great character development through a lot of the characters, especially like side and minor characters. Great animation, really solid voice work. The story propels itself forward, and it sets up more stuff going forward while also telling a really cohesive and fun story throughout in this season. I think that this was like a pretty much a flawless season. I can't really think of that many flaws except for maybe one or two of like the side stuff in some of the episodes might have been kind of but even then, like, I really think that this was a perfect season of Invincible and just a perfect season of a show. I thought it was great, and it left me wanting more. Again, with all that said, those were my thoughts on Invincible, Season 2. Yes, this was a great show and a great season, and I was so happy to be able to get a review out for you guys, because I know I've been slacking, but I'm hoping to get back in the groove. I appreciate so much you all watching this video, and let me know down below in the comments, have you watched this season of Invincible? If not, then sorry, you kind of got spoiled, but let me know down below. And if you want to hit the subscribe button and the bell as well to get notified of when I upload, that would mean so much to me. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye.